effects. Do you have some?
I have negative side effects. Just right now, I feel like my voice is a few tones deeper than what it used to be.
Is it deeper than it used to be?
It is, yeah. I record my voice because I'm very anal retentive about my side effects and staying feminine. I mean, as soon as I get some kind of side effect, I get it maintenanced and I do what I have to alleviate that side effect.
What's that mean?
Well, for example, if I have facial hair growth, I went and got electrolysis.
To keep looking like a woman isn't easy in bodybuilding. Colette Nelson says working out so much makes women lose their breast tissue, so implants are common. She's had her breast done 4 times. And then there's the Botox, and skin tightening, and hair, and makeup, and the ever-present, not quite natural tan. It's a world Nelson knows so well that she started helping other competitors prep for shows, like on this day in a Chicago hotel room.
First hour is the 2 coats in the morning. It's got to dry, it's got to settle into the skin.
Finally, the pose down. This moment is what bodybuilders live for. It sure isn't for the money, especially for the women. For instance, at the Arnold Classic this year, the difference in prize money between top man and top woman was more than $100,000.
I just did a pro show. Third place gets $500.
$500?
$500. Are you kidding me?
That didn't even cover your airfare.
Doesn't even cover your airfare. And the winner gets...
What'd the winner get?
$3,000. Do you think that's really worth it? $3,000. I mean, that's nothing. So there is absolutely no economic gain in competing. In fact, you're going to lose money.
The promoters make money, the supplement companies make money, the photographers, the magazines, all these things. But for the athlete themselves, they're the ones that are treated the least.
There is a way that women in bodybuilding make decent money, but it's not by competing or even winning on stage. It's actually by selling their bodies, selling them on the web or even in person to men who fetishize their hulking physiques or a particularly developed part of their anatomies. It's a subculture known as muscle worship, and though it's rarely discussed, it's practiced by many.
Rah! Are you going to watch the night show tonight and see my posing routine?
Dina Westerfield, a top professional bodybuilder, competed at the Arnold Classic this year. When she wasn't on stage, she showed us her webcam routine from her hotel room.
Hard and veiny forearms. Ugh, that's a good view.
There's a population of men that like strong women for various reasons. I mean, it's easy to figure out what they like. It's harder to figure out why they like it.
Brian Moss knows a little something about this world. He was once a bodybuilder himself. That's you?
That was me. That was 1988.
Look at how ripped you were. I like the mullet.
It wasn't a mullet. Everybody sees it, thinks it's a mullet. It wasn't a mullet. Good.
When his posing days were through, he got behind the camera.
Good. Admire.
Now, in addition to shooting stills, he runs a muscle worship website called She Muscle. Could someone look at you and say, you're exploiting these women?
I'm sure they could say that. My argument would be, who's exploiting who? The women aren't paying the men. The men are paying $8 a minute for posing, flexing, arms, biceps, forearms, calves, feet. Totally different erogenous zones than conventional porn.
Predictably, the hush-hush business of muscle worship isn't just online. Lauren Powers meets men, or schmoes as the women call the muscle worshipers, for private sessions all across the country.
Nice and strong.
How much does that cost me?
$300 to $500.
What are the limits on what I get?
It depends. Each one is different. It depends on what your fetish is. I do a lot of wrestling, which is very popular, which involves scissor holds, arm wrestling, leg wrestling, grappling a little bit. That's different.
So I can say, I want you to throw me around a little bit.
No problem.
And that's good.
That's great. And lift and carry. I could actually pick you up.
A lot of people ask for the lift and carry.
They do. They do. We're talking executive businessmen, people that you would never, ever think.
So talk to me about the private sessions. Are the rules a lot stricter?
The rules are a lot stricter, yes, for me personally and for a lot of other female bodybuilders. My problem with sessions that I've run into lately is the fact that a lot of women have turned it into a prostitution ring, period. And so you just have to be very, very careful.
Guy says, I don't expect you to provide me a happy finish, but I may take one for myself. Is that okay?
Again, it depends. My sessions are different every single time. No two are alike, ever. And I've done hundreds.
What's the difference then, Lauren, between, and I mean this with all due respect, what's the difference between that and prostitution?
The sex. There's no intercourse. There's no illegal things. It's not being a prostitute. I've never considered myself a prostitute. I make more money than they do.
Ladies, you have 30 seconds, free posing.
Ultimately, for those women who are immersed in bodybuilding, the business is no laughing matter. The sport offers them so little and costs them so much of their time, their femininity, and any kind of a normal life that it's amazing to think anyone would want in on such a world. Yet those already in can't even imagine getting out. Aren't you a little bit afraid about, hey, you know what, I'm 28 years old. Man, when I'm 58, what am I going to look like?
I worry about it, but at the same time, I'm living my life. I'm doing what I enjoy doing, so life is short.
I always say, I am going to be the 75-year-old in the little wheelchair with, in the back of the wheelchair, I'll have these little dumbbells or little kind of bands.
Get out.
I cannot see myself stopping.
One quick footnote. The women in bodybuilding may bemoan the lack of prize money, but the business was clearly good to Joe Weider and his late brother Ben. They're the ones who founded the International Federation of Bodybuilders. And while the IFBB is officially a tax-exempt nonprofit entity, the Weider companies involved in muscle and fitness ventures do an estimated $400 million annually.